Okay, good morning. We arrived in last night at 28% with 54 miles remaining. Slightly improved efficiency there from the low of 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. But today we're heading out of Indianapolis. This is the east of Indianapolis, heading through the city and then over to Illinois and Iowa to camp at Ledges State Park. Indy is well served on this side, but a little bit kind of unbalanced. But I think the station that we've got, there's actually a couple there with 6, but I think this one is one of the newest ones. So let's head over there.
Your destination is on the left.
Pretty new 350 kilowatt balance chargers. We'll just slide in here, do our thing, grab some breakfast and head out. All 6 available. 64 cents a kilowatt hour. Thankfully we're not paying. Nice quick charge. It is starting from relatively high compared to our 5 and 10 percenters yesterday, but I'd guess this will crank right up to 190, 180 maybe. And we don't have too long. I always feel the pull to get in there and do what we need to do. Okay, that's about right. Should start there, crank up a little bit, crank up again, and we'll know how much it hits from the app. So we'll do that and go and get some morning breakfast supplies. Alright, so went a bit higher than I would have liked there, but got a good state of charge to keep us going on. Actually nothing really much in the way of breakfast stuff in there, but got some camping supplies. So we'll head on to another breakfast place, grab some food, and then be on the road. These are actually locations where I think both times there's been a Walmart within half a mile. This one's just right across the street. So here they've partnered with Meijer, and looks like we're going to get some good juice here. It's again starting higher up than the 10-20% that you might like to be at, but not a million miles away. Kind of wish Electrify America had the charge point and EVgo thing of the power graph, so you can just kind of see what it gets to start with and then look later on, see how the charge session went, but no big deal really. We'll just monitor it via the app and go and use the facilities. Okay, did get to 80% in 18 minutes, but from a much higher state of charge, so not blazing fast, but not bad. 7 kilowatts is the Korean siesta, just resetting itself and ready to go again. So we'll see how much we've got and whether we've got enough to crack on to almost Iowa, but certainly the very western edge, northwestern edge of Illinois if not. Also noticed a supercharger that was out over there, so that's an interesting piece of it. We've got 6 of these here, 8 superchargers, 350 kilowatts max, 250 kilowatts max I assume. So we're getting closer. Not quite there, but you know, for the amount of EVs on the road, there's way more Teslas. depends on the location you pick, of course. The next one up the road is a 4-stall All DA with 1 out, but this is the kind of thing we want to see.
Please present your card or your mobile phone. Authorizing. Thank you.
Okay, so it's hit that siesta, 15 minutes in, to 80%. Started no problem with the card. And again, pretty impressive stuff for Ford. I mean, the other two are 120 kilowatts, I think. But this is 240, which is perfect for the EGMP cars. Gave full voltage. It's just a small town Ford dealer, but it's impressive stuff. Gustafson Ford, Kewanee, Illinois. Thank you very much. First cases of the, well, ever actually, to be honest, for me, but of the trip certainly. These are brand new, put in the last few weeks by the looks of it, on plug share. And we're back to hot heat with 87 degrees. Spent most of the trip so far today at 70s. So if you sprint across the road, looks like there's a bunch of stuff over there. Outlets, fast food joints, and possibly a coffee shop, which would be intriguing. coming up on 80% for us. These are good new stations, pretty reliable. I think the heat is starting to take its toll again, but this is our last fast charge of the day. The ones that were over in Geneseo near Davenport were being replaced, and it looked like they were in the ground from what we could see from the interstate. So all good stuff. Power cabinets out back and transformer in the far corner. Got that 80% and starting to take a break, so we'll head off. 55 kilowatt hours in 20 minutes. All these stops pretty much around the same, 20 to 25 minutes. Depends on the location. Sometimes just enough time to grab a restroom break, other times not enough. You'd rather go in and eat. So not this time, it's a good stop. Okay, so Ledges State Park, not too far from Ames, which is a college town, I am told, and we saw the big stadium for the Iowa Cyclones, I guess, Big Ten team. I'm sure that means much more to other people than it does to me, but I hope your team does well this season. So yeah, we did 550 miles, I think it was today, approximately, if I get the rough area of Indianapolis. Scenic, rolling, more rolling kind of hills than I expected. All the crops and agriculture, but just very green, lush, very pleasant. So yeah, nice. And Casey's was pretty good, kind of mix between a truck stop and the more gas station convenience store. So I have to try some of their stuff on the way. Electric hookup back there, and the J Booster TT30 I think I'll try. We've got the NEMA 1450 outlet, but I'll try that one and put the different attachments on, see what I get with each. Here we are, 25%. We'll see what we get overnight and hopefully leave with a full charge in the morning for South Dakota and the Badlands. It's a wee bit dusty with all the storage under there. I have to see if I can find a bag for these. They do have the protective ends, so that part of it is safe. And yeah, let's try the TT30 first of all. Line up the red dots, pull this down, a solid connect. Got that dogtail with the TT30 plug. That's the common camping outlet, I'm told. Let's get it plugged in, see what it does. Shows 24 amps.
Charging started.
So got that at 2 kilowatts. AC charging current 100%. Nope, so that's what I'm going to get out of this on the TT30. Let's try it with the beefier NEMA 1450. There we go. Bit beefier, 40 amps, we should get significantly more out of that.
Charging started.
Okay, that's a little more particular use case, seeing as we're going overnight, but for the moment I'll pop it up to 90. Pull a healthy little 8.5 kilowatts and then temp it down if we need to. But we have the battery with Vitomin, so we can use that for the cooking. So the only thing obviously with plugging in whilst you're here is that you can't then use the V2L, but at the same time you could do that overnight quite easily. You could use the V2L as you got here, camp out, do your stuff, cooking, whatever else, charge some devices, and then plug in overnight, so that would work as well. But for now we'll leave this in. TT30, nice one to have, but 2 kilowatts isn't going to cut it when we've only got one night in this park, so that will be much more useful overnight. Leave tomorrow with a full charge and head on to South Dakota, and much more limited charging. Iowa's actually been really good for the charging options. Lots all the way through. I mean, Illinois I expected to have a bunch, but Badlands is roughly over here. I think that's Rapid City, which is about as far as you go. And then that's 491 miles as the crow flies. We're probably only going to Wall, but 550 odd miles. And we'll be fully charged to go in the morning. A little bit, 217 miles on 100% charge. That should be fairly accurate. Maybe a little off if we hit any hills. Big drive day ahead again. Skies are very much darkening. So in keeping with the relatively well-timed vacation so far, we'll juice that one up pretty close to 100% just before the heavens open here. We get another thunderstorm. We'll hear that overhead, and we'll pack up camp, be on our way to South Dakota. Another 500+ mile drive day. We'll see how Electrify America and their competitors hold up. Like it's going to work in the background there. There we go. So So not quite on its best game if it's 19 minutes to 80%. We'll see how that adjusts as we go. Pretty nice site here. You can see it from the interstate, which is, let me see, Interstate 29, which I've only just connected with because we were on the east-west routes before. We came in through Route 20, then we hit the interstate back again here, so we got some nice efficiency on the way there. Not too slow at all. It was 65 to 70 miles an hour most of the way, but also didn't need the air conditioning for most of that because it was 65 to 70 degrees. So nice efficiency. Could have gone another, I think it was 50 miles or so, and we did 170 almost, so better part of 220. That's a good stint. Chamberlain in South Dakota, and that's the last stop before a big gap over here. I think it's about 160 miles to Wall. There is a charger in the middle here. It's a free wire, but I think that will be the casualty of them going under earlier this year, because it seems to have very bad reviews last time I checked. I will look again, but unfortunately that seems to be offline, so it's just trundle along here and then you're in good place to go down to the Badlands. But so far not quite out of Iowa. Really nice state, very much appreciated it. It's a nice place. We'll have a look at this station before we leave, which has obviously been new because they've got the new equipment. They've got 6 stalls and they've even got 2 pull-throughs, which is excellent for this area. And these fired right up, no problems at all, with now hitting full power, and it's adjusted that time to 80% to 12 minutes, which is more in line with what we'd expect. So, grocery store right here, Casey's in the background, 6 stalls, full power, power cabinets, transformer, $1,500 kVA for the 6 now, going up from the 1000. It's quite standard. Got the conduit running across to those as well, lots of space. You've got your non-charging vehicles will be towed. Fire up, but once it gets going, right up to 700 odd volts, amperage catches up with it, and we should get pretty close to our 240 max here, starting at 22%. Just really impressed with these Ford locations. Like, everything is much more like a dedicated charging station, charging hub almost. So 724 volts, almost 300 amps, 217 kilowatts. That's probably mostly on the car. And look at that pricing. We are in the land of abundant electricity, I guess, or it hasn't caught up, but it's only 35 cents per kilowatt hour, which is level 2 pricing back in Massachusetts. Vern Ida Ford in Mitchell, South Dakota. They've taken EVgo's policy of naming the chargers with good names instead of just numbers. So that one's Amp, this one is Atom, and this one is Boost. And typically what I'm seeing from most of these that have the 3 power electronics units is one 240, which we've used both times, and I think, oh no, this is a 240 as well, and then possibly, I guess they're all 240. Yep, so maybe the 120 is just referring to the shared power. I thought a couple of the ones yesterday were 120 only. I'll have to go back and check. But all online, all ready to be used. And again, mostly for Ford, but they're well clear of any inventory. It's a parking lot, I guess it's an overflow lot. Potentially serving people's homes here. This looks like, you know, an apartment kind of complex or condos, whatever. So if they don't have power in the garage, they've got fast charging options right on their doorstep. The EA is 64 cents a kilowatt hour. If we were paying for it, you can obviously get the pricing down a little bit, so maybe 56 cents per kilowatt hour, but this is like half the price and just as fast, at least for our end. So 10 minutes of charging, stop that up, 36.6 kilowatt hours, 10 minutes, so pretty sweet.
Tesla, or give subsidies that might exclude some of the Tesla models. I think people are going to start connecting the dots that...
Turn right onto South Dakota 50 West, East King Street, then turn right.
Two. I think it's a...
So patchy connection here. Hopefully this just fires up though, because I'd rather not do that. Maximum charging. Huge. And you can see the impact of our 80 plus miles per hour. And cooling, now that the temperatures are up, got right back down to that low lows of what we normally see in winter. Not normal for us to see that in summer. But now I need to check what the distance is. I think it's about 150 miles or so. So we should be good. It's just a matter of driving a bit more slowly. We knew we had chargers up to this point. Then you've got that stint to wall. We'll get close to 95% hopefully. And be on our way. So actually not bad at all. Was predicting 39 minutes to 100%, and there may be a little drag on that last few percent, but shows you how much you can do even up to this kind of 96%. This isn't an undoable stop by any stretch of the imagination. It's why we can do 20 to 30 minute charging stops one way or another, because wherever you are in this pack, you'll still get that 20 to 30 minutes. If I started down here, I'd be back to 85% probably by now. And yeah, it takes a little bit longer for this last 5%, but you really can get most of the pack. See, there's 60 kilowatt hours or so, and it's really not a problem. So the only issue there is the cooling after this. It's a hot day, 90 degrees Fahrenheit plus, and we will need a little bit for that, but you want to add a few more kilowatt hours in, just so the stuff you lose from that, the effective rate is, if I get up to 97% here, it's more like 94, 95%, because I'm losing cooling the battery pack back down. So I don't know where the trade-off with that is in terms of unplugging earlier, but we don't really have that luxury in this particular location, so we'll go higher. We'll use the full kind of 29-30 minutes of the free charging and get as much as we can in there, and then see how much efficiency we get on the way over to Wall. And then one other observation, if people are thinking, you know, why not Tesla superchargers if you, you know, have a gap this big or something? Well, there are superchargers, but they're all V2 at the moment, so they haven't got up to this V4 speed, and obviously we haven't got access. Maybe only Tesla's on this route until Tesla adds a 250 kilowatt supercharger along the route. But for now, Electrify America remains the biggest game in town and the most powerful as well, with 6 of these 350 kilowatt hyper fast chargers. So a pleasant night's stay in the middle of nowhere, not actually a million miles from the interstate and wall, but Sage Creek Campground in the Badlands. 94% charged when we arrived. Had AC on all night, 72 degrees, mid kind of flow, and went down to 83%. We also used the V2L twin flatar air mattress, and but the battery, the Thomann battery pack was for everything else. That went down from about 90% to 40%, so we used a lot of it. Would need to refill from the battery pack here, but we'd have plenty, as you can see, 80% around, and you can go all the way down to 20. So. And today, do the Badlands loop.